purposes of being able to create clusters that we think where we can hire. We can move faster, have more qualified people to go CEO to CEO. We don't want any more, missteps. I mean, you're always going to have them, but we don't want missteps where people just can't move at the speed of business or they're not qualified enough to impress the CEO. And we're starting to get really great feedback on the fact that we have qualified people out there. The liquor business is currently, we're going to transfer it. It's still being put together. But the people that have been in there who have much more business savvy, I think in 8 months have done a pretty remarkable job. I'm going to give you rough numbers, we could follow it up. New jobs created, promised over time, I think it's 10,400. Okay, and a good example of that would be Omnicare, which moved from Kentucky into Ohio. And so that's 10,400 promised, delivered over time. Kept jobs is over 20,000, about 21,000. And that would include American Greetings, Wendy's would be new jobs because Wendy's come back to Ohio. It would include American Greetings, Diebold, companies like that. And it adds up to, I think it is 1.7 billion in combined payroll and 1.5 billion in new capital investment in the state. For example, Bob Evans just committed to investing $100 million in Ohio. This is really important because if you don't have capital investment, you just can't make it. The sectors in Jobs Ohio are important. Manufacturing. I'm pleased with the development here of what's happening with autos. In fact, I have a call tonight with the Ford official. Ford is going to invest $5 billion under that labor agreement. If it's fine, is it ratified today? I don't know, but $5 billion. Michigan will get 2+. Ohio gets 1, and everybody else gets less. The footprint for Ford is shrinking, but they're going to maintain a strong presence, and suppliers are important. We are hopeful that we will get. We stabilized Perrysburg. The Toledo Blade has said 1,100 new jobs in Toledo. We have approved incentives to get that done. That has to be finally settled by them. And GM is very happy with Lordstown. In fact, put out a statement saying that the environment in Ohio had dramatically improved. Let me see what else I want to tell you about. So that's manufacturing is one, but that could involve unmanned vehicles, which is really terrific if we can get airspace down at Wright Pat. We'll see. And it will involve aerospace and new materials, which they're doing a great job at Kent State and the University of Akron. Agriculture, very important. In fact, I just got a note from one of the legislators saying it ought to be a STEM program. I don't know enough about whether we should do that. Maybe we should. But agriculture is a foundation. I think Jim Zeringer has done a fantastic job for us. We are trying to have agriculture viewed as sort of the backbone of the state. Because when it does well, we do well. When it does poorly, we do poorly. And it's not just new markets, but it's also an opportunity to do new materials with bio products. We have an amazing thing going on in the state. We're now shipping cows to Turkey, to Istanbul, and they're being quartered down in, I think, Salina. We're hoping they're going to be able to fly actually out of Wilmington. And by the way, we announced working with a company down there, 259 new jobs in Wilmington, which is airplane maintenance, which is fantastic because they didn't have any good news down there since they lost the 8,000 jobs. But we need to think of agriculture in a different way and encourage people to expand current operations. And we need to use the R&D in our universities, like Ohio State, to bring in seed companies and fertilizer companies, and we're always looking at processing. Now, food processing, by the way, is a big deal, particularly in southern Ohio, and right over in Orville. We know that processing can work. So Zeringer thinks about this all the time. We will hire somebody in Jobs Ohio to do agriculture, but right now I'm comfortable with where it is. We also believe financial services is a critical area, and we're working on programs there, which involves insurance and banking. Health is huge because you take the Cleveland Clinic, you take Case Western, University Hospital, Ohio State, Dayton, Performance Medicine, Cincinnati, and all the children's hospitals. You can do, you can start to do medical devices because you have clinical medicine, maybe clinical trials. Very hard to get them all to work together, but we're getting them to. I mean, we're making some progress on that. There's a couple other areas, I can't remember what they all are, but healthcare, IT, we have cloud companies now, cloud computing companies. So you get healthcare, agriculture, energy. Okay, I just was in Canton today talking about fracking, and we had a big energy summit here in the state, 1,100 people for 2 days, a lot of experts, and I've talked to the governors of Indiana, Pennsylvania, Michigan about putting our fleets together and doing compressed natural gas. We think that Ohio is a microcosm of the country with coal, renewables, natural gas, waste heat, greater energy efficiency. I mean, we are trying to design an energy policy for Ohio. And when you look at fracking, of course, we've got about 10 wells drilled. We need 100 to be certain, but I mean, Chesapeake's invested a couple $2 billion. Craig Butler's here with me, works on this. David Mustine runs this. This could be just huge. And we have to have rules, but you know, that protect the environment, but not rules that drive business away. We have to have impact fees that can protect the local infrastructure, but we don't want to tax to the point where we drive them away. We've been working on it for about a year, and I think we're making progress, lots of community meetings, and it's not just fracking and wellheads, but it's also pumps and compressors and pipes. You go up to the Mahoning Valley, it's amazing what's happening. It's happening in Stark County. We are very excited about Belmont County for the possibility of some sites down there that could lead to some other things related to fracking. So it's the wellhead, it's the pipes, it's the pumps, it's all that, but it's processing facilities. A long shot possibility is something called a cracker, where they break the gas down, which is related to plastics and you know, assorted polyethylenes, and I mean, the potential is terrific, and that fits in with the issue of workforce training, which is one of our biggest challenges in this state, and I think in this country. If I point to somebody in my office to focus on workforce training, you know, I could probably go on, and I could go on here for a couple hours, and that's not what you want.